Insurance Town. I'm the mayor, Heath Sheeran, and the host of this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, so glad you're here hanging out. We got a quick hitter. We got a good episode here. Nick reached out to me and was like, hey, talking to me about what's going on with the FCC and regulations and rules and a ruling that came out. And I was like, I don't know anything about this. And so, I wanted to bring him in, have him talk about this. And there's 3 quick points he wants to get into. And Nick's one of those like, best of the best, when it comes to marketing. And he really does know what he's talking about. He's, as he calls himself, a marketing nerd. Don't let his TikTok name fool you, the world's okayest marketer, because, he's a little better than okay. Anyway, this episode is awesome, and we're sponsored by Smart Choice, the fastest growing agency network, hands down, because of what they do for you. And for what they do to help you as an agency with higher commissions, lower premium thresholds, all of the above. It's one of those things that they just do a great job, and I'm a big fan. And obviously, I've been a fan since long before they became a sponsor. But I do believe in what they do. So check them out, smartchoiceagents.com. Also, our friends over at Canopy Connect, the one-click solution to getting all those deck pages you need to quote your prospects. Again, can you imagine? You send your client a link, they click on it, you get deck pages, you get loss run information, you get driver lists, you get vehicle lists, you get everything that you need to make that much quicker to get a quote. And that much more accurate. No more guessing games. Go to usecanopy.com/Heath. Get your demo. Guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy my conversation with Nick Berry. Nick Berry, what's going on, my man?
Not a whole lot. It is, late December. Everybody's kind of checked out. And last week, the FCC dropped a bombshell on everybody who buys leads.
Okay. So tell me about what you're talking about exactly, Nick. Okay. Welcome to the show again.
Thanks.
Glad you're here. All those good things. Pretend like we've had a lot of heartwarming talks. Let's dive right in. Feet first.
Yeah. So prior to December 13th, if you were buying leads from any lead vendor, I'm not going to throw any names out there, because I don't want to throw any companies under the bus. But if you were buying leads from a lead vendor, aged, new, exclusive, there was 3 things that really didn't matter. The do not call registry didn't matter for automated SMS.
Yeah.
Opt-in didn't matter for automated calls and automated SMS. And then the product line didn't matter. Those 3 things were just kind of the wild, wild west. It was assumed that everything, the consent that the lead generator had collected, applied downstream to everybody.
Okay.
So if you went to, say you were on Candy Crush and you need some more Candy Crush lives, you filled out a form.
Yeah.
To get more Candy Crush lives. And then that company sold that lead to an insurance agency or a mortgage lender or real estate agent or whoever. All of that consent followed down funnel. It was okay. You could text them, you could call them.
Oh, wow.
The big thing that there's 3 things that now have changed. First one is the do not call registry applies to text messages.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
okay.
If you are collecting those leads from a lead vendor, you need to go. It always applied to auto dialers and phone calls, right? For purchase third-party leads, always applied for that. But the text messages, it didn't. So you could just send a text to somebody, automated text to somebody. That has changed. You need to verify every lead that comes in through a third party against the do not call registry. Best practice is even first party or leads that you generate, you should also check against the do not call registry. There's a couple services out there, free phone, or not free, phone call, let me look it up. There's a service out there that'll exist.
So
And I'll
yeah,
shoot
what
you
you're
the link.
saying is, if you are getting these leads somehow, there's the only way to be able to verify these is through a third party, or is there a way that you could do it yourself?
You could do it manually, but you can't do it automatically. You can through it. Basically, you get the lead, you grab it, you put it through Zap. There's a company that you can connect to Zapier and send it, and they'll check it against the database. And it's not free. It costs about 2 cents per verification. So if you're bringing in 20, if you're buying 20, 30, 40 leads a day, it's going to cost you a couple bucks.
Right.
You know, no, not even. It's going to cost you 80 cents if you're bringing in 40 leads a day. You can also download all of them and put and go do a bulk import on these systems. There's several that work with Zapier though. Work really well. I've actually used it. I've built them out before for agents. That's the first one. The second one.
Did you figure out the name of that company? Did you say that?
No, I didn't Google it. Let me get.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Okay. We can look it up. We can edit out so it sounds like you had it ready to go. So don't worry about it. A little power of editing.
Yeah. So the next one is opt-in. Unless opting in, the explicit opt-in. Like I said at the beginning of this, if in the past, prior to December 13th, on December 12th, the opt-in followed through.
Did you say December 12th?
December 12th.
Prior, this is still fresh. This is very fresh.
December 13th. So the ruling came out and they applied it starting December 13th.
Wow.
So all these people who have all these automated systems, they need to pause and rebuild. The opt-in, unless it explicitly says, because what used to happen is on the opt-in form, on the opt-in checkbox, it would say X company lead generator and our corporate partners will be contacting you.
Right.
That was their loophole. FCC said no. It has to be the company that is going to be contacting you has to be explicitly listed. If not, you have to go get permission yourself. And you can't do it through an automated text message, and you can't do it through an auto dialer. You have to go one-on-one, but after you verified they're not on the do not call registry again because it's a third party lead. You have to go get permission to add them to an automated calling or texting system.
And then, wow. So
if you are not listed explicitly and not buried in a privacy policy, it has to be in that. So if a lead vendor is generating leads and it's not an exclusive lead, it would have to list out every company that's going to be contacting them on the opt-in page, visible and conspicuous.
Yeah. Okay. So this is more affecting the person purchasing leads than it is the lead vendor themselves.
Yes.
So the lead vendor themselves that you're purchasing from, they're still able to do what they do. But now you have an added headache that you have to go through in order to verify these leads.
Yes. And there's a third thing buried in that not everybody is reading and seeing.
Okay.
And that is line of business.
Okay.
So if on that lead opt-in form, it says, we will be contacting you about homeowners insurance, your automated messages cannot be about other lines of business.
Oh,
they have to have explicitly opted in for other lines of business.
So there's no cover all bases. There's no cover all bases saying it has to be specifically here.
The line of business, and it could be homeowners, auto, and life. If it says those three things, you can on that form. You can communicate with them.
What about if someone gets leads for personal line? They can't communicate about commercial lines.
Nope.
Oh well, or
not an automated automated systems.
Right. No, I get that. Or a company that does an AMS and a CRM can't communicate for both. It has to be either the CRM or the AMS.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. And you said that's buried somewhere in there, so that's not obvious in the ruling.
It's not really obvious about it. No.
Wow. Okay. Whew, that changes a lot of things for people that use a lot of these services and a lot of,
It does.
um, mm. So how did this come to your attention and where did, I guess being a BA, is that what, a better agency or what?
No, this is just I'm a nerd. I read. I'm a marketing nerd. My job's to stay in front of what's going on in the industry. I knew something was coming down from the FCC just because I read their stuff. It's just part of my job. And so I wanted to make sure because I've worked with agents in the past. I know agents who buy leads,
Yeah,
and I know it's prevalent throughout the industry. I've been very vocal, I think, in my social media posts about buying leads. I don't think it's the best practice,
right.
but it is what it is. Like an agency, a business owner is going to do what they want to do, regardless of what their marketer tells them. And so I just wanted to get it out there. Now,
Right. But
I
the opt-in thing's another big thing though, not just from the do not call or the sales list, because even those that don't buy leads that have a CRM or that have a, some sort of way of contacting people automated, this
Mhm,
affects them as well because they could have decided after a couple of years of being a client with it, hey, they may have unsubscribed or opted out of emails.
mhm,
Now you're having a hard time to get that customer and get in front of that customer because they've opted out.
mhm.
Correct?
So if
Even though they're already your customer, they're already in your pipeline. If they do not subscribe or unsubscribe because they got too many emails from you, does this affect them too?
Not really. Email's a
Okay.
different beast. The FCC
Okay.
really doesn't have a
Okay.
ton of oversight on email.
Okay. Good.
They're working on it. Because email is like that's another thing that just came out. Google is making some big
I was about to
changes.
say Google's making big changes there on their emails, which that has to have been about 10 years in the making because that's a lot of undertaking.
So last year, Google quietly did a requirement of for sending emails to Gmail users of
Yeah.
you need to have SPF and DKIM authentication, or you might go into the spam box for
Yeah.
Gmail users. Um, they added it will be required for all three forms of the domain authentication: SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. All three need to be set up. If you're a mass sender sending more than 5,000 emails a day to the Gmail ecosystem, it doesn't apply. And I reread it this morning based on something one of my
Yeah.
mentors told me. It doesn't apply to Google Workspace senders because that's just a whole other beast. But if you're sending but that's also a best practice. The first thing I do when I get into any company's email system is I set those three things up. Those are just best practices. Anyways, because that's just going to improve your deliverability. So, but that's going to be a big one. And I personally think Google and Microsoft's following suit. Microsoft's going to apply the same rules for Live and Outlook and all their free email domains and Hotmail and all that. They're going to apply the same rules. My personal instinct is they are doing that to get in front of the feds intervening.
Oh, okay. So I've been furiously taking notes over here. So, because this is good stuff. I'm interested on some of this stuff of like, why. I mean, obviously I know why, but I mean, if I think through it, but I mean, is there something deeper, something that happened specifically that made the FCC pull this ruling on the 13th or 12th?
Robo texting has gotten out of control.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
some other things that they're
So
doing on the
it's a
back end.
basic. Okay, got it.
There's some other things that apply to that came along with this ruling. They are going to enforce because there's the main phone carriers, right?
Yeah.
Verizon,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mobile, all those. They, for the most part, play by the rules. There's a
Sure.
handful of small regional carriers, and that's where all those spammers sign up for.
Yeah.
They go through because they're just like, oh, we'll just take your money. We don't really care. So the FCC is putting the hammer down on them and saying, you will. Here is the new standard. If we send you a phone number, you will block it.
Okay. So I see this really affect. Maybe I'm wrong, but with with AI, people using AI so often in their text and their automations and whatnot. this could easily be a way to filter out some of that too, to be able, because now they're having these filters of like,
It's
this
just
was
easier.
AI. What?
Yep. Well,
It,
it's not that it's AI, it's the barrier to entry has gotten so low.
yeah.
It's so easy that it's just so easy for anybody, any Tom, Dick, or Harry to go, I'm going to spam text 3,000 people today.
Yep.
And it's just they need to raise the barrier to entry, make it a little more difficult. While it stinks for small businesses, these are, if you're using those spam techniques, it's going to hurt your business anyways. It's going to hurt your reputation. It's
Yeah.
going to hurt your business.
I mean, we've seen it everywhere. I mean, people have started, not started, but I've seen it the last 2 or 3, probably 3 years for me anyway, is the DMs that get spammed constantly. Every
Yeah.
day I wake up, I get like 25 or 30 spams,
Mhm.
if not more, of like, what are you doing with this? Or do you want more leads? Or do you want more of this? Oh, you're a podcaster. Do you want me to market your podcast? And I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
And some of them got really clever with some of that.
Mhm.
So, you know, people out there that are listening to this are thinking, what's the next option? Then if I can't do the leads thing easily on, purchasing leads now because the FCC ruling and there's other things like that. I mean, I would love for you to expand on maybe a little bit of maybe Nick's advice on what you can do now. If the lead generation has been bought for you for this long, what do I do now? What's your
How do you fill that
suggestions?
gap? No, I absolutely, there needs to be, yeah, you need to replace a gap, that gap that this creates. I had been telling agents for the last year, there is a
Yeah,
huge opportunity for Google search ads still,
yeah,
long tail Google search ads, and click to call.
yep,
So those two things, there's huge opportunity. And then what I tell people is that tied with an effective content marketing strategy. So you generate the lead, and then you have a library of content that you send the lead after that. Because if they come into your ecosystem, if
yeah,
they come in and it's called, so lead purchasing is called third party.
yeah.
It's third party data.
Okay,
If
yeah,
you are generating the lead through your own website, through your own, and you're following all the rules, you have explicit opt-in, you tell them what they're going to be getting, why they're going to be getting, and what product lines you're going to be communicating to them about. Those rules, like those rules don't technically apply to the FCC rules, but they're best practices. You should be doing them anyways
yeah,
because you still need to check. You should still check against the DNC, because what I found out doing the research on this is there's known litigators, and these systems, the realvalidation.com, that's the tool. I looked it up in our break.
yeah.
That system will actually check to see if that phone number is associated with known litigators who have filed suit in the past.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's part of their
Okay.
system. But so if you are generating your own leads, you can, because if you still need to get explicit opt-in, you need to track it. So your form tool will give you data, their IP
Yeah,
address, and the date and you put that into your CRM, your email marketing, and your text message marketing system. You now have permission. You have a window of when those sales rules don't apply because they have come to you specifically through your marketing efforts. So you
right.
can now you can now send them automated messages.
Yeah, and so, whew, so I'm just that's even going to get clouded eventually too of trying to figure out, in my opinion, of how they came to you. Was it truly through your own
I would so
organic?
I well, organic or paid traffic.
Yeah,
Those so you can get that, like if a correctly set up website,
sure.
collecting all, because a good
Well, I
a
mean,
WordPress site with Gravity Forms has the ability to collect how that person came into your system
right, right,
and
right.
document it. Because that's the thing, you have to have the proof that it came in. So you have to
Well,
store that data.
that just makes you, if you're doing organic, it just makes you pay more closer attention to your CTAs. It makes you
Mhm.
pay more attention to your click throughs
Mhm.
and all of those things to make sure that all that traffic is, I guess, monitored or
Yep.
documented, so to speak.
Documentation. It's like anything else insurance. If
Yeah,
it's not documented, it didn't happen.
100%. Yeah. And so that all, it's just something else documented within your AMS or your CRM,
Yep.
interesting. Okay. So I'm going to throw a plug in here for one of my sponsors because I can, but I've got a sponsor now on my show that's real big right now in the resurgence of direct mail marketing in our insurance space. I want to hear your spot on this because whether it's postcards or sending out cards or whatever.
Mhm.
And my sponsor in old school marketing, what they do is handwritten notes and handwritten envelopes and handwritten. If you dog it, I'm gonna cut this shit out. I'm just kidding. No, but I do love this resurgence of the direct mail piece. What are your
Okay.
thoughts there? Is this a help?
Okay. We're gonna go back in time a little bit.
Cool guitar riff, right? Yeah, we're in a mid-roll ad, and even though the holidays are a little bit behind us, there's still opportunity to get some gifts, and maybe you're one of those families that gets together after Christmas, or you get together after the New Year and celebrate because you have such a big family, or you have so much going on, or you just were dealing with some things. You still have an opportunity all year round to go to manscaped.com and check out the grooming products designed just for men, to help them with their nether regions, but also with lotions and potions and all the things like that to help you to preserve and to smell good and to feel good. Whether you need to take care of your face, the Beard Hedger Pro, take care of the other areas with the lawnmower, or if you just need to get the weed whacker to get up in the nose hairs and the eyebrows and the ears and all that kind of stuff, go to manscaped.com, scroll to the bottom and click discounts or whatnot and put in the code MAYOR, 20% off plus free shipping. You're not going to want to miss this opportunity. Also, I talked about him on the show this episode here in a few minutes, probably. Old School Marketing. I can't wait for you to hear more about them on the show. I'm going to get out of the way, but you got to check them out. OLDE schoolmarketing.com. Back to the guitar riff, back to this episode.
Before I ever got into InsurTech, I started a business that was sending handwritten cards for insurance agents.
There you go. Well,
I
now
will
it's
never
good.
dog. I will never dog direct mail.
Yeah.
I honestly, I did a training with some people a few months ago, just a kind of personal training. There's tools that if you close business on an address, there's direct mail systems that will send within a radius of that household
Yeah.
a postcard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was originally built for like roofers and real estate agents, but I'm like, why wouldn't insurance agents use this? If I could send, and that's the killer about, like, I've never been a big fan of EDDM, every door direct mail. I've never been a
Yeah.
huge fan because it's so blanketed and broad.
Yeah.
It's so, and it's such a pain to use.
Yeah. You talking about the
Um,
door hangers and the whatnot?
no, every door direct mail is the post office's direct
Oh, okay.
mailing system.
I see what
It's
you're saying.
just, it's the post office. It's USPS. It's not easy to use. It's
Yeah.
expensive. You have to use their approved vendors or go deliver all the like boxes of postcards for the zip code you want to send to. There's systems now that are like Facebook
Yeah.
level detail of targeting to
Yep.
send. Like you can exclude households under a certain threshold, house values under a
Well,
certain
yeah, and
threshold.
using geofencing and I mean, you could use
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff to help you,
I
within all
I,
kinds of things.
I think we talked about this the last time we talked, and it's kind of like billboards. I'm not against using billboards.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, we did talk about this.
I
Yeah.
think you use smart technology systems to associate to improve that old school method.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't if you don't follow me on social media, I run a newsletter, right? I run an email
It's a
newsletter.
good one. I get it.
Last month, I decided I'm going to start mailing this.
See what
So
happens.
the people, yeah, well, not to the people. So basically, I send an opt-in. So I've got this kind of paid group that I have. It's very small. It's only a few people. But anybody who's in that paid group, I said, hey, listen, if you want to get the newsletter mailed to you every month or every week, I said week. When I publish it, I'll actually send you a printed version of the newsletter.
Yeah.
So yesterday was the first one. It went out last night. It went into the system last night, and they're getting a printed. And I'm not doing it. It's not my printer behind me back there doesn't work. It's an automated system. I just upload a document and tell them who I want to send it to, and it's like I believe in
Yeah.
I've been playing around and trying to figure. I bet it's an ego thing for me because
Yeah.
I actually have one sitting right here. I don't know if you remember or know who Dan Kennedy is.
Yeah.
It's my
Oh,
old
yeah.
address. That's why I'm covered up. Still in the plastic. Like I kept the plastic cover that it comes in.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do one of these for I've been like at the three companies I've been at. I'm like, let's do a physical newsletter, and I could never get the budget. So finally, I was like, I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah. I think,
And it's not like it's not cheap. I mean, I think for a 3-page newsletter, it cost me $1.90 per address.
right.
To,
Yeah.
to stroke my own ego, I was going to do it. I said, we're going to do it.
Yeah. I just, I wonder if we're going to continue to see, or if agents should go back to thinking in the form of direct mail and, you know, instead of purchasing leads. I know you talked about that earlier. Instead of having to worry about these guidelines, maybe go back to a little bit more of those roots of direct mail, whether it is a letter, whether it's a postcard, whether it's a handwritten or not, whatever,
If
a
I,
newsletter even.
I live in a small town, I live in small town Iowa. There's like 20, I think there's 15,000 people that live in my small town. The county might have 20,000 people, right?
Yeah, yeah,
If I was an insurance agency owner, I'd be sending out direct mail to every single person in my county for
yep,
every month.
yeah,
A postcard, mix it up. A postcard, a sales letter,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it'd be I mean, it wouldn't be cheap. But if you're buying leads, you might as well throw some direct mail at them too.
yeah.
Getting there because it's like the mail volume has gone. I live in Iowa and we're the political stuff. I get 3 postcards a day from political campaigns in my bill, and most of my bills actually aren't even. I don't even get mail anymore. They're all e-bill.
100%. Yeah,
My mailbox is empty most days outside of political season. Besides the county mailer, the county newspaper thing, the
yeah.
I would be doing 2 things. I would be sending direct mail and I'd be buying ads in the local paper. And this is coming from somebody whose job is digital marketing.
Right. Yeah,
I would be buying ads. I would be buying up anything that like I'd be buying booster club ads. I'd be buying, for a few grand a year, your brand is everywhere in town.
right. Now, that being said, as we start to wrap up a tad on direct, as we talk about digital marketing,
Mhm.
you and I both work within the AMS CRM world.
Mhm.
What's some advice you give for people that want to do organically? They want to transition from the lead purchasing and having to deal with some of this. Is it truly as simple as just, drip campaigns and, getting them, in front of them with emails and with some automated text here and there and things like that? Do you have anything outside of that? Like, what are your thoughts on some of that?
Every insurance agency in America should be producing written content, and if they have the capacity and the team and skill to do it, video content. I did a
Okay.
I did an audit last month. I checked 100 insurance agency websites. I know the
Yeah.
sample size isn't big, but our industry's not that big, so I can make some
Right.
assumptions based. And I just needed easy math for my marketer brain. 90% of insurance agency websites do not have a blog. Of the 10% that do,
Yeah.
one had actually created quality content in the last 90 days. Some of them had created content, but they just stopped. And it's okay. Like there's one, I came across one, they had like 493 blog posts. When you create 500 blog posts, you can probably just kind of rest on your laurels for a while.
Right.
Because
Now, would you say long form or short form blogs?
a mix. So for SEO, what I have, and this is not Don't take me, but what I have found works the best is having a mix of long and short form. There's no right answer to get. What Google does like is quality, expertise, and authority.
Yeah.
Those are the things that they're looking for. So if you can hit on quality and expertise, just all that means is you just do it for a really long time.
Yeah.
And authority means you get people to link back to you, or you get a lot of traffic on that expertise. That's what those really mean.
So here's
it doesn't really matter like I write 1,000-word blog posts because it's marketing stuff. Like, can you write 1,000 words on what a deductible is? No, that's like a 500-word blog post.
Right. So my question is, for those in here thinking, I'm gonna channel my citizens here. Like, okay, so once you've written this, and once you've gotten the blog, and once you've done some of that written stuff, how do you get that in front of people? Because, for example, Facebook, LinkedIn, some of those social media places, they don't like it when you send them off of their channel. So they don't want you putting a link of check out my blog at https://www.nickberry.com. They don't like that because you're taking them off of that platform.
This could dive into it. We could go into a whole another 60-minute rant on this, but
understand. But how do you get those people?
Email should be your number one distribution channel. What I tell everybody, if you're putting out one blog article a week, if you're putting out one blog article a month, dude, it's just bare minimum a month. That's one email you can send to your entire list every single month. If you do it weekly, you're going to get some opt-outs. Like, I have a 1% unsubscribe rate on my newsletter. I'm like, really? You know what I'm talking about. You've been following me on social media, and I get 1% unsubscribe. It's okay. Unsubscribes are cool. Those just aren't your people. That's all you got to remember. Those just aren't your people.
Right.
Send one email. If you send one email a week, we'll go back to the once a week because that's better. It's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
One article a week is one newsletter email. Also turned into a drip campaign email to your prospects after you've quoted them. Okay. In my system, I have one email series that's 19 emails long over 8 weeks. They get 2 emails a week after you've come into our ecosystem. The other social media is still a valid distribution channel. It's my number one source of new traffic. For me, it's my number one source. I have a hack. It's a workaround. You write about what you're doing, put an image in it, and put the link in the first comment.
Yeah. I've seen that happen a lot too. I wonder if that still works or if
it still works.
Hip to that.
It's still my number one traffic source, and that's that's how I do it. That's how I get 100% of people who subscribe to my newsletter. It's how the agencies who work with me get more traffic.
Love that. Okay. That's what I thought. I've seen a lot of people doing that, or I've also seen it, and I tried this a couple of times where they would spell it out, instead of,
But who's going to go put the work in to go do that?
I understand. I tried it once or twice, see if it would work. I just started putting in for my social media for my podcast, it'd just be, go listen to this where you listen to podcasts. I just wouldn't put the link in there, but it'd be so nice to have the link there. You just click it right there because people like ease.
Yep.
So you can put in there.
This is my exact formula of what I do. I have my idea. I write my blog post. I have it. So my blog post, my newsletter goes out Thursday mornings.
Yeah.
Wednesday morning, I put out a post on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, talking about what tomorrow's going to be about.
Yeah.
Tell them if you want to subscribe, you know where to find the comment.
Yeah.
And I put a little down emoji. Send them to my subscribe page. Newsletter goes out. Kind of just mess around on social on the day it goes out. The day after it goes out, and I'm not always good about this, but I always do Wednesday. Wednesday's non-negotiable. As long as my Friday's not too crazy, I'll go post a summary of what the article was and say, if you want to go read it, go click here. You know where to go.
Back again.
It's the link to the article.
Yeah.
That is That's my formula. And
I
then
like that. I appreciate you dropping some secret sauce in there.
Dude, it's social media. You're supposed to be social, right? I have a every week on my calendar, I have 45 minutes where my only intent is to go engage with my audience. I have a secret list of people that I go check on.
Yeah, I think we all have.
I like and I comment, and if I have relevant value, I just send them. I just go and engage with their content, and then I scroll for 20 minutes and go, "Oh, that's cool." Or, "Hey," scroll Instagram, I scroll Twitter, and I go, "Okay, cool," and then I'm done.
Yeah, no, I get it, dude.
And the social media stuff, I can get away with doing that because I'm posting other stuff too. I'm not just I'm not just a bullhorn of what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah. No, I get that.
On Facebook, I post memes.
Yeah.
On Twitter, I just kind of try to add value where I can. On LinkedIn, same thing. I just try to add value without any ask. And I do that all week long.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I think that's awesome. And I appreciate the advice and everything. And, I appreciate you coming in and bringing us this information from the FCC. If people want to subscribe to your newsletter, find you, get involved with what you're doing marketing wise, or hear more about anything you got going on, how will they find you?
nickberry.co.
That's easy.
That's it. That's the easiest one. nickberry.co. I put all my newsletters are listed or blog articles. You can subscribe right on the homepage to the newsletter if you want to learn. Like, I send out a newsletter every single week. I've sent it out every single week for the entirety of 2023. I started January 7th and have not missed a week. Every week, it's a new marketing tactic or strategy or something like this FCC thing. I wrote out a 800-word article and sent an 800-word email this morning about this FCC rule, because it is that sometimes it's not marketing. It's just staying ahead of what's going on.
Exactly. Again, I appreciate you so much, man.
Me too. I appreciate you having me on and, let me kind of jump in with in the middle of all this.
Yeah, dude, that means a lot. And so, guys, reach out, find this guy, get involved in what he's got going on, and let him help you. Help him help you. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Guys, thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Go like, subscribe, check out this episode. Don't miss the next one. Tell your friends. Insurance Town is where you need to be. Hello.